think the worst one I stayed in was like this really seedy Comfort Inn. Even that terrible Comfort Inn actually had a treadmill. So you're on the run, you're on a quick trip, or you're in a hotel. What do you do to not destroy your diet or training plan? This is actually my situation now. Okay, so what exactly do you look for? Well, number one, if you can, try to find a hotel with a decent gym. Some of the hotels that I like, Westin, Equinox, Fairfield Inn Suites, this is a little bit lower end, but it tends to have pretty decent equipment. The Fairmont, and if you're in New York or Chicago, the James Hotel. I don't know what your expense account is for your company, but depending on how important you are, it can be like you need a really nice hotel with a good gym. Most of these guys actually have full gyms in their hotels, which is pretty awesome. So that would be one thing. Many gyms also have access to a full-scale gym that's really close by, right? You can always inquire as well. If you don't have a gym, which can occur, right? Certainly, that's definitely something. At least do some cardio. Even the crappiest hotels that I definitely stayed in some really bad ones when I was in medical school and residency, just trying to, interview and stuff. I think the worst one I stayed in was like this really seedy Comfort Inn. Even that terrible Comfort Inn actually had a treadmill. If you don't have a gym, at least do some form of cardio, fasted cardio in the morning. If you do, unfortunately, not follow your diet super strictly, at least you'll have burned some fat reserves. What can you do for food? Well, ideally, planning beforehand can help a whole bunch. So packing things like whey protein isolate, fruits, or raw nuts can really be a big deal. But if you don't do that, Instacart's pretty awesome. They deliver to hotels, and they can, there's typically grocery stores around, and you can just deliver stuff over. I like to, if I can, try to get like a suite, right? Or because typically the refrigerator is there, and some of them actually have like stoves. So if you want to cook something, you can do that. If you're unable to do that, at least get one with like a fridge, I guess. Most places have like a mini fridge. So a super simple, healthy on-the-go meal. Well, if you packed whey protein isolate, like in a bag, maybe 1 to 2 scoops of that in a glass of water, maybe 8 to 12 ounces of water, use a spoon, mix it. J-Rob mixes really easily. Fruits, I like apples. They don't spoil. You can get them anywhere. A half to 1 medium apple is a good source of carbs, and that would be a great source of carbohydrates to add to your whey protein isolate. And then healthy fats. So, packing a bag of raw almonds. Try not to get the roasted ones because they tend to degrade the omega-3 fatty acids. Raw almonds, pecans, walnuts, 10 to 15 kernels would be about 10 to 15 grams of fat. That would be a great meal right there. And then many times, pre-cooked chicken breast is available everywhere, and Instacart can help out. If there's a Trader Joe's, they have something called Just Chicken, which is just chicken. It's just basically cooked roasted chicken, and they use a very small amount of olive oil. It's pretty healthy. So that might be something to do. 6 to 8 ounces is a pretty good source of protein. And then finally, if you have to go out to a dinner, always opt for a salad if you can. Grilled chicken salad works well. If you don't want to do that, lean meats for sure. Grilled, baked, minimum of oil, top sirloin, whitefish. I'm not a huge fan of salmon, primarily because there's a tremendous amount of fat associated with the protein. I'd much rather you get things like flounder, cod, sea bass, or trout. Vegetables, try to avoid bread or desserts, unless it's your cheat meal, because that's where you can get a lot of calories. And then finally, limit alcohol. Don't be like some of my colleagues who are coming in for resume interviews and the pre-interview dinner, gorged themselves with alcohol, and then just, it was just a terrible experience for some of them the next day. Limit it to maybe a glass of wine, or even not at all. You will be a lot fresher the next day and be able to interact with your clients or whatever in a better way. Alcohol in any amount, even 1 glass, really does impact sleep. And we're starting to find out more and more studies suggesting it really has no positive impact, like on cardiac health or liver health or any of that stuff. So many of those studies back in the 80s or 90s suggested, hey, a glass of red wine is good for your heart, and may actually reduce blood pressure, reduce atherosclerosis, or just plain wrong.